Como recordarán, el ex campeón norteamericano de NXT, Johnny Gargano, abandonó WWE a finales del año pasado tras no renovar su contrato con la empresa. El luchador mencionó que la razón principal de su no renovación era que se iba a tomar un tiempo fuera de los cuadriláteros para poder disfrutar del nacimiento de su primer hijo con la también luchadora Candice LeRae. Después de esto, han habido varios rumores relacionados con el regreso de Gargano a los cuadriláteros. De hecho, hace apenas un par de meses se lo relacionó con AEW, pues hubo rumores de que incluso el luchador ya tenía un acuerdo con la empresa de Tony Khan. Obviamente el regreso de Gargano no se produjo, pero todo indicaba que el luchador seguía viendo con buenos ojos firmar por AEW. Y esto no era para nada un secreto, pues el propio luchador en entrevistas mencionó que AEW le parecía un destino bastante atractivo. Sin embargo, parece que en las últimas semanas el panorama habría cambiado radicalmente y ahora Johnny Gargano estaría abierto a volver a firmar con WWE con Triple H como el nuevo jefe creativo. Así lo ha informado el periodista Cassidy Haynes de bodyslam.net, quien el día de hoy ha revelado que Johnny Gargano estaría interesado en hablar con Hunter para un posible regreso. Estas fueron sus palabras. Las fuentes me han dicho que con Triple H ahora en el control como jefe creativo de WWE, Gargano está abierto a un regreso a WWE y que estaría interesado en hablar con Hunter para ver cómo cambiarían las cosas. Dicho lo dicho, todo indica que el regreso de Gargano a WWE podría ser simplemente cuestión de tiempo, pues el interés parece ser mutuo. De hecho, ya la semana pasada había rumores de que Gargano sería uno de los principales objetivos de Triple H para traerlo de regreso a WWE. El ex campeón mundial y leyenda de WWE, Chris Jericho, fue entrevistado hace unos días en el podcast del también ex WWE Isaiah Swerve Scott, ahora conocido en AEW como Swerve Strickland. En dicha entrevista, Jericho reveló su opinión acerca de los cambios que estamos viendo en WWE durante las últimas semanas y analizó los pros y los contras de la marcha de Vince McMahon de la empresa. Jericho cree que los cambios positivos se verán muy pronto, mientras que los cambios negativos posiblemente se producirán con el tiempo. Estas fueron sus palabras.
I can go back working for him for 17 years, 18 years. And obviously, like you said, there's some Vinceisms and Vince foibles that don't make sense. Right. But I did learn a lot about the psychology of the business and how to be a star and how to conduct yourself, how to be a true main eventer, how to be a money draw. And I think the pros, if that's the right word, the pros of Vince leaving WWE will be seen very quickly. As you can see, there's a lot of changes right off the bat. They're very refreshing and this kind of thing.
Lots of in-ring time.
Lots of in-ring time. Yeah. I think the cons, no pun intended, of Vince leaving won't be felt for a few months, maybe more, 6 months, a year.
I would say 2023.
You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things that Vince did, just little things. And I know people bag on him for his recent booking and all that stuff. And obviously there was a habit he had, but there's those guys that are the true main event stars are legit stars. They're legit stars. And you can spot them a mile away. I mean, look at the difference between Drew McIntyre now prior to the last run that he had. Yep. Vince worked with him to make him a top guy, top star. Same with Roman. It's completely different now than it was, before he turned heel. Brock is a babyface. I can tell right now that Vince worked with him as being a babyface.
Oh, you can spot it.
You can spot it. I can see it. And because tough guys usually, and Brock's got a good personality, but tough guys usually don't ever want to smile. I mean, Triple H never wanted to really smile in the ring.
True.
Babyfaces smile. I mean, I watched Total Recall last night with Schwarzenegger from 1990, and the best parts is when he's making jokes and laughing, and it's like that's part of being a badass is you open that door of personality.
Door of Ragnarok.
There you go, right? So I think there's a lot of that and listen, a lot of those guys are working in Vince's image. Stephanie's obviously been trained from day one. Hunter's been trained from day one. So there's all of Vince's principles will probably still be used, but Vince is a once in a generational genius. Now, people can watch this and go, you're standing up for him for us. I'm not saying anything outside of the ring or whatever. I'm just saying from what I learned about the business from him and Pat Patterson, which I think
was another
genius. Yeah, and I think Vince learned from Pat too. And I think, learning in that era, it's something that will end up hurting in the long run, and by no fault of anybody's own. It's just that you know time moves on, and that's one of those guys that saw the business differently from anybody else. And it would be great if he would still be able to be there to consult, but I don't think Vince is going to consult anything. I think that when he decided to leave or was asked to leave, whatever the story is, I don't think he can be a guy that can hang around on the outskirts. I think he's just going to have to go and find something else that he loves to do.
El ex campeón mundial de WWE, AJ Styles, fue entrevistado recientemente por el medio Inside the Ropes. Entrevista durante la cual el luchador habló sobre varios temas interesantes, como su opinión sobre el tiempo que formó equipo con Omos, con quien fue campeón en parejas de Monday Night Raw hace unos meses. Styles declaró en modo de broma que hacer equipo con Omos le quitó algunos años de carrera, ya que tenía que recibir todos los golpes. Estas fueron sus palabras.
To work with him?
They presented it to me, and I said, "Let's go. Let's do this. Let's see." And, you know, it was one of those things where you're like, "Oh, great! I'm in a tag match, so I don't have to take all the bumps and falls and whatnot." But that's just not true when you're tagging with Omos. You're taking all of them. So that took a couple of years off my career, I think, but it was well worth it. This guy's just, if you've never saw him before, he's unbelievable. When we would go out to eat, people would have no idea who he is. They just know what they saw, like this giant, and they needed to take a picture with him. You know, I'd just be standing in the corner where they're taking a picture with Omos. You know, that's
Otro de los temas que tocó el Phenomenal One durante la entrevista fue su combate contra Brock Lesnar en Survivor Series 2017. Styles afirmó que Brock Lesnar fue muy respetuoso y considera que fue uno de los mejores combates que ha tenido en su carrera. Estas fueron sus palabras.
It was great. We kind of discussed how we wanted the beginning to go, and then I threw in my 2 cents. He told me not to jump when he gives me a German, or he throw me out of the ring. I said, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think Brock showed me a lot of respect in the match that we had, and telling the story. You know, it was great. I thought it was one of the better matches that I've had, and I was very happy with it.
I loved it.
Bueno, fanáticos, este ha sido un video más del noticiero de WWE. Espero que les haya gustado, pues si ya saben, si es así, no olviden dejar su like, activar la campanita y no olviden tampoco seguirme en mis redes sociales que están acá abajo en la descripción. A los nuevos, no olviden suscribirse. ¡Chao, perros!